For Eleanor, life had become a relentless cycle, a constant, unrelenting hum that vibrated through every fiber of her being. It was a soundtrack to her days, an ever-present drone that seemed to grow louder with each passing moment. The city itself was a symphony of chaos, a cacophony of car horns, construction, and chattering voices, all blending into a single, overwhelming wave of sound. It wasn't just the ping of notifications demanding immediate attention, or the looming deadlines that cast a shadow over her every thought. It was a deep-seated pressure she felt in her bones, a weight that settled in her chest and made it hard to breathe. It was the unspoken expectation to always be available, always be productive, always be striving for more. Her days were a blur of meticulously scheduled tasks, each one demanding her focus and energy. Her calendar was packed with meetings, appointments, and obligations, leaving no room for pause, no space for spontaneity, no time to simply be. Every moment was accounted for, every minute planned, leaving her feeling like a cog in a machine constantly churning and never stopping. Mornings began with her mind already racing, a whirlwind of to-do lists and anxieties swirling before she even managed to swing her legs out of bed. The day's demands pressed down on her before she even had a chance to greet the sunrise. Coffee was gulped down as fuel, a necessary jolt to kickstart her already overstimulated system, and emails were checked mid-routine, blurring the lines between personal time and professional obligations. The commute was a daily battle for space and sanity, her jaw clenched against the frustration, the radio offering just more noise to add to the already overwhelming sensory input. Each red light felt like an eternity, each delay a personal affront. She envied those who moved slowly, seemingly unaffected by the relentless pace of modern life, baffled by their calm, their ability to navigate the chaos with a sense of inner peace she couldn't comprehend. How could they possibly be so serene in the face of such constant pressure? Evenings, once a sanctuary, brought no real relief. The hum followed her home, a persistent echo of the day's demands. Her mind kept churning, replaying conversations, anticipating future tasks, as she scrolled mindlessly through social media, comparing herself to others, or worked late into the night, trying to catch up on the never-ending stream of emails and projects. Sleep was shallow and restless, haunted by the specter of unfinished tasks and the nagging feeling that she was always falling behind. She was always connected, always on, available at a moment's notice to respond to emails, answer calls, and address any urgent matter that arose. Yet despite this constant connectivity, she felt completely disconnected from herself, from her own needs and desires. Stillness felt impossible, a distant memory, a forgotten language she no longer knew how to speak. The quiet moments were filled with anxiety, a fear of what she might find if she actually stopped and listened to her own thoughts. Eleanor was lost in the overwhelming noise of modern life, her own needs and desires drowned out by the constant demands of the world around her, leaving her feeling empty and adrift. Stress wasn't just in Eleanor's mind, it was etched into her body. Tension headaches, aching shoulders, and fatigue became her daily companions. She looked older, her skin dull, her hair thinning, friends commenting on her tiredness. Mentally, she was foggy, forgetful, and her creativity had vanished. Life's joys faded, hobbies felt like chores, social invitations overwhelming. Even simple pleasures went unnoticed, lost in the static of anxiety. She was present, but not truly living, just a ghost moving through her own story. The world's color faded to gray. Eleanor was surviving, not experiencing. Change rarely announces itself with fanfare, with a grand earth-shattering event. It doesn't always arrive with a bang, a sudden and dramatic shift that upends everything we know. More often it's far more subtle, arriving as a whisper, a quiet nudge in a different direction, an almost imperceptible shift in perspective. On a crushing Tuesday, Eleanor found herself completely overwhelmed at her desk. The weight of deadlines, the endless emails, the constant demands, it all felt like a crushing weight on her chest. In the midst of the chaos, Eleanor vaguely remembered a piece of advice a colleague had once shared with her. "When things get too much, I just take a few 10-second breaths. It helps me reset." At the time, she dismissed it as far too simple, almost laughably inadequate in the face of her daily pressures. A 10-second breath? What difference could that possibly make? But now, feeling utterly desperate and with no other options immediately available, she decided to give it a try. What did she have to lose? No fancy apps required, no special meditation setting, no calming music, just a simple, conscious breath. She closed her eyes and inhaled deeply for a count of 4 seconds, filling her lungs completely. Then she slowly exhaled for 6 seconds, releasing the tension she was holding. Her mind immediately protested, racing with thoughts and worries, pulling her back to the to-do list. But she gently guided her attention back to the rhythm of her breath, focusing on the rise and fall of her chest. One breath in, one breath out, 10 seconds of focused awareness. The incessant hum of anxiety that had been buzzing in the background began to quiet, just a little. She noticed her shoulders, which had been hunched up tight, ease down slightly. It was a tiny shift, almost imperceptible, but undeniably real. It was like a crack of light appearing in the darkness, a small glimmer of hope in the overwhelming gloom. And for the first time that day, she felt a sliver of control, a sense that she wasn't completely at the mercy of the chaos around her. The world outside hadn't magically transformed, the deadlines were still looming and the emails were still flooding her inbox, but her response to it had shifted. She felt a little calmer, a little more grounded, a little more capable of facing the challenges ahead. That single 10-second breath was a turning point, a small act of self-care that had a surprisingly profound impact. In that moment, Eleanor realized that even the smallest of steps, the briefest of pauses, could have the power to change everything. The beauty of this practice was its simplicity. Notice stress, pause and breathe, inhale for 4, exhale for 6. No special tools, no rituals, just awareness and breath. The longer exhale signals safety to the body, releasing tension. One cycle is 10 seconds. Repeat 3 to 5 times for a reset. Eleanor used it before tough calls, in traffic, or at her front door. In less than a minute she could shift from overwhelmed to calm. It became her invisible superpower, a simple breath, anytime, anywhere. Eleanor learned this wasn't a fad, it was ancient wisdom, now backed by science. The 10-second breath taps into the body's autonomic nervous system, shifting from fight or flight to rest and digest. The long exhale stimulates the vagus nerve, telling the brain to calm down, slow the heart, and lower stress hormones. This creates cardiac coherence, heart, lungs, and brain in sync. The result: clearer thinking, better emotional balance, and a body primed for repair. Less cortisol means slower aging, healthier skin, and a stronger immune system. With each breath, Eleanor was protecting her body from stress's corrosive effects. She was finally giving herself a chance to heal. The effects of slow breathing compounded over time. Eleanor's body learned to default to calm, not panic. The constant anxiety faded, replaced by stability and clarity. Her face softened, her skin brightened, and her energy became steady. She could focus longer, enjoy her evenings, and sleep deeply. A few breaths before bed brought true rest, fueling a positive cycle of health. Her body repaired, her mind cleared, and she woke refreshed. The frantic pace slowed, inside and out. Eleanor's calm began to ripple outward. At work, she responded thoughtfully, not reactively, earning respect and trust. Relationships deepened, she was present, engaged, and genuinely connected. Friends noticed her lightness, her laughter returning. She rediscovered joy in small things: walks, painting, music, food. Life's colors returned. She was an active participant, not a bystander. The change wasn't about escaping her life, but integrating moments of stillness. The 10-second breath became her anchor in any storm. She didn't eliminate stress, but changed her relationship with it. Peace became an internal state, one breath at a time. Eleanor's new normal was calm, not chaos. Stress still came, but it no longer ruled her. She found space between trigger and response, a superpower always within reach. Her breath became her most vital resource, regulating her inner world. Headaches and fatigue faded, her health improved, and her doctor noticed. She was no longer a victim of her schedule, but the calm center of her life. Thriving wasn't about perfection, but presence and agency. The 10-second breath became her philosophy, a reminder she could always return to balance. Surviving was the past, thriving was her new present. All it took was a breath. Eleanor's story is a powerful reminder, a testament to the human capacity for resilience and healing. It highlights how even in the face of immense adversity, we possess the innate ability to find solace and strength within ourselves. Her journey underscores the profound impact that conscious breathing can have on our lives, offering a pathway to navigate challenges and cultivate inner peace. This potential for transformation, this inherent ability to harness the power of breath, lives in all of us. It's not a skill reserved for a select few, but rather a fundamental aspect of our being, waiting to be awakened and cultivated. Regardless of our backgrounds, experiences, or current circumstances, we all have access to this incredible resource. Modern life, with its relentless demands and constant stimulation, often teaches us to breathe shallow and fast. We become accustomed to a hurried, superficial rhythm that disconnects us from our bodies and fuels stress and anxiety. This shallow breathing deprives us of the full benefits of oxygenation and contributes to a state of chronic tension. But the good news is that we can reclaim the power of conscious breath. We can consciously choose to override these ingrained patterns and cultivate a deeper, more nourishing way of breathing. By bringing awareness to our breath, we can unlock its potential to calm our minds, soothe our nervous systems, and enhance our overall well-being. You don't need a crisis to start. You don't have to wait for a moment of extreme stress or overwhelm to begin exploring the benefits of conscious breathing. The beauty of this practice lies in its accessibility and simplicity. It can be integrated into your daily routine, no matter how busy or demanding your life may be. All it takes is just a moment of attention, a conscious decision to pause, to turn inward, and to focus on the simple act of breathing. This moment of awareness can be a powerful catalyst for change, shifting you from a state of reactivity to one of mindful presence. The 10-second breath, a simple yet profound technique, is free, available to everyone, regardless of their circumstances or prior experience. It requires no special equipment, no specific location, and no prior training. Subtle, a gentle and unobtrusive practice that can be incorporated into any situation without drawing attention to yourself. It's a discreet tool that you can use to manage stress, enhance focus, and cultivate inner calm even in the midst of chaos. And available anywhere. Whether you're at your desk, on your commute, or waiting in line, you can access the power of conscious breathing to center yourself and find a moment of peace. It's a private sanctuary in the midst of chaos, a portable oasis of calm that you can carry with you wherever you go. It's a reminder that even in the most stressful environments, you have the power to create a space of inner peace and tranquility. Imagine pausing before reacting, taking a few conscious breaths before responding to a challenging email, engaging in a difficult conversation or making an important decision, or unwinding after a long day with a minute of slow breathing, allowing the tension to melt away and preparing yourself for a restful night's sleep. These small pauses, these moments of conscious breath, rewire your system, gradually shifting your nervous system from a state of chronic stress to one of greater balance and resilience, for resilience and health. By incorporating conscious breathing into your daily life, you can strengthen your ability to cope with stress, enhance your immune function, and promote overall well-being. This is your invitation to take back control of your well-being, to reclaim your innate capacity for calm and resilience, and to navigate the challenges of life with greater ease and grace. Slow down, find your quiet center, that still, small voice within that knows exactly what you need. And remember, the power to change is already within you. You already possess the tools and resources you need to create a more peaceful, balanced, and fulfilling life. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6. This is where transformation begins with a single conscious breath. Breathe.